My wife and I were no strangers when our romantic journey began. Our paths converged through a charity volunteer group where brief greetings eventually blossomed into a friendship. A year into this shared endeavor, my heart found its way to her, and our companionship evolved. We dined together after volunteer sessions, and a budding affection compelled us closer. After months of camaraderie, we took the leap into dating, and our love story rapidly progressed. Within a year and a half, we exchanged vows, sealing our commitment. Throughout this courtship, I believed I knew her inside out. Our conversations were candid, and we disclosed our past to ensure a strong foundation for our union. However, time unveiled a disheartening truth. Her revelations were selective. Amid the facade of marital bliss, the revelation of her infidelity shattered everything. Despite the differences in our earnings, her success in a top-tier marketing firm contrasted with my role as a business consultant. I was never insecure about her or felt envious. Instead, I cheered her achievements, urging her to soar higher. Her workplace stories of colleagues' animosity initially seemed mild, perhaps fueled by jealousy towards her success. Her bold personality and love for luxurious fashion elevated her in the spotlight, which could understandably breed jealousy. We laughed off these incidents, cementing our bond by sharing the encounters of our workdays. I admired her ambition, believing her aspirations for success centered on dedication and hard work. I had no idea that her pursuit of achievement would take a treacherous path. The day of reckoning arrived as I tidied our home office, a task usually undertaken by my wife. Amid the clutter, hidden evidence emerged. A stack of gift cards and receipts for extravagant jewelry leading to an undisclosed origin. This revelation was a puzzle that needed resolution. The carefully concealed items raised suspicions, revealing a truth beyond my comprehension. The realization that she might have exchanged more than dedication for success shook my very foundation. I had genuinely believed her accomplishments stemmed from genuine hard work, not deceitful bargains. As the truth materialized before me, I found myself grappling with emotions of shock and betrayal. The expensive luxuries my wife possessed never raised eyebrows as I attributed them to her earnings and the allure of discounted deals she often mentioned. Suspicion compelled me to investigate discreetly. Returning everything to its original place in our home office, I waited for the opportune moment. That night, as my wife slept, I searched her phone and made a startling revelation. She had been involved with her boss in multiple romantic affairs. This revelation explained the rationale behind her rapid promotions and hefty bonuses. Fueled by anger and the desire for retribution, I devised a plan. Her boss, a prominent figure due to his wife's status as a well-known real estate agent, became my instrument of vengeance. Through a calculated move, I confronted her, presenting evidence of the affair. Confronted with irrefutable proof, her emotions ranged from rage to heartbreak. Swift action followed as I forwarded the evidence to her company's HR. The investigation that ensued led to her dismissal and her boss's demotion. Meanwhile, I confronted my wife, who initially denied the affair but later tearfully confessed, citing her ambition for success. Her claims of sacrificing for our future couldn't dilute the pain of her betrayal. With resolve, I expelled her from our home, sealing her fate. Divorce became the next inevitable step executed in a jurisdiction far from her new workplace. This decision, while difficult for me, was vital to securing my peace of mind and severing ties with a deceitful past. As I reflect, I empathize with the potential consequences of her future relationships. Her unrelenting pursuit of success has led her down a treacherous path, marred by infidelity. Her words of loyalty and integrity were mere smokescreens, masking a different reality. In the aftermath, my focus is my own well-being and tranquility. Relationships may not be on my horizon as I prioritize my mental and emotional health. To those listening, heed the lesson. Actions often speak louder than words. Now for the next story. I am a 38-year-old man and my wife is 33. We were once a couple bound by love and deep commitment, but it all came to an end after finding out about her infidelity. We first met at our workplace where we both worked as colleagues before I was transferred to oversee a new branch of our company in a different state. Although we were close before I relocated, but the distance seemed to intensify our bond. She was an exceptionally intelligent coworker, and this is what drew me towards her. Initially, Back when we shared an office, my feelings for her were limited to a fondness, and she was just someone I talked to regularly. But something changed when I relocated. Over the ensuing weeks, we found ourselves talking to each other every day. It continued like this for several months until I mustered the courage to ask her out. Surprisingly, she didn't deliberate like others might have. She simply said yes, and this marked the beginning of our relationship. We were together for 2 years before finally deciding to get married. Within this period, I departed from my previous company and secured a new job in our home state. The new job proved superior to the first, but it demanded frequent travel. We welcomed a daughter in the first year of our marriage, and by the 4th year, we also welcomed our son. These additions brought immense joy to us, and I wholeheartedly dedicated myself to ensuring that my family is comfortable and happy. My wife was an industrious partner, and together, we worked tirelessly to raise our 2 wonderful children. Our relationship was relatively harmonious, and even though we had our ups and downs, we still pulled through. Aside from being a devoted father, I made a conscious effort to being a loving husband. Special dinners and thoughtful gestures became a norm, and we'd send our kids to her mother's house whenever possible to relish uninterrupted weekends together. These interludes were crucial as I recognized the importance of cherishing our marriage amid the demands of life. As our marriage grew, we made it a point to embark on yearly vacations, even if it was just for a week. These retreats solidified our bond and created cherished memories. I mentioned these details to emphasize my commitment to being an attentive and caring husband and father to my family. Despite my efforts, I never fathomed that my wife would betray our relationship. I played a pivotal role in supporting her through thick and thin, even during the time she grappled with her mother's issues, resulting in a 2-year separation between her mother and our kids. My dedication knew no bounds, and if she desired something, regardless of its cost or necessity, I made sure it happened just to see her happy. However, it was a twist of fate that exposed her infidelity. I was supposed to embark on a crucial business trip, but it ended up getting canceled, and this granted me precious time with our kids. Our playtime was filled with happiness, laughter, and ice cream, and it provided a fleeting escape from our daily routine. But little did I know that this innocent moment would unveil a heart-wrenching truth. I had thought that my devotion and sacrifices as a loving husband and father were unwavering, but I had no idea that my efforts were in vain. This unforeseen revelation shattered my world, exposing a reality I never anticipated. It started when I overheard my children whispering to each other, and upon asking, they made me promise not to tell their mother. At first, I was intrigued and a bit surprised, but I agreed, hoping to encourage their openness. But to my astonishment, they revealed that their mom had a friend who posed as their dad when I was away on business trips. I was a bit skeptical about their claim, but their detailed account convinced me this wasn't a childish fabrication. They confided that this friend even spent nights with their mom in our room and left early on days I was returning. What upset me the most was that this stranger was in our home, providing for my kids while my wife allowed it. To protect our family, I urged my children not to disclose this to their mom. When she returned that evening, I sneakily attempted to gather information, but her responses were elusive. I tried to find evidence on her phone, but it yielded no results. I opted to catch her in the act, so I came up with a plan. I informed her of a fictitious business trip that I would be embarking on a Saturday. When the day came, I pretended to get prepared for my trip as she and the kids went to shop for groceries. After they left, I decided to stay in the basement of the house, trying to see what happens next and observing from the basement window. A few moments later, she returned home, and after a little while, a man arrived. My wife greeted him with a passionate kiss, oblivious to my presence. My jaw dropped, and I was filled with disappointment and sadness at that moment. I began questioning my sanity, trying to figure out the reason for this betrayal, but couldn't come up with any. After much deliberation, I decided to call her mother, sharing the truth and asking her to come. Her mother arrived and confrontations ensued as I emerged from the basement. Her speechless reaction only amplified my disappointment. Without extensive confrontation, I requested she leave before my return, as I tried to clear my head. I didn't hesitate to conduct a paternity test on the children, as I needed answers desperately. I was so relieved to find out that the test confirmed my biological connection with the kids, and I explained the heartbreaking deceit their mother subjected them to, even though their comprehension was limited. This whole revelation solidified my decision to divorce her. I hired a very good lawyer during the divorce process, and I ended up securing custody of my children. They are now my main focus, and any consideration to remarry hinges on their readiness. Despite attempts to sway my children to her side, I have cautioned them against manipulation. Their mother's actions are disheartening, but my commitment to my children remains steadfast. Discovering your wife, someone you intend to spend the rest of your life with, engaging in such a dubious act is truly unacceptable. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Until next time, I'll see you again. Take care.